Okay, so let's jump right into it. We've got a huge clash coming up in League One. Marseille versus Lille.
Yeah.
Now, both these teams, they're on fire right now. They're
Mm.
both fighting for those top spots.
Mm-hmm.
And what we've got is this really interesting pre-match analysis. I think we can really kind of dig into it a little bit and see if we can make some sense of how this match is going to play out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what makes this deep dive so exciting. It's
Yeah.
like we've got two teams, like you said, with totally different stories, but like both, they want those top spots.
Yeah.
And Marseille, I mean, they're riding high right now. They want to prove they're like contenders. They're a real threat for the title.
Yeah.
And then Lille, they're quietly building this like really solid season. And they want to break into the top tier.
Yeah.
And they've been especially good on the road.
Yeah, they really have. And speaking of Marseille, I mean, red hot's an understatement. I think 12 points from their last 5 matches. That's more than anyone else in League One.
Wow.
They're sitting pretty in second place.
Yeah. But they're still 5 points behind PSG.
They are. Yeah, that's the big question mark, right?
Yep, that's the question. Can they actually mount a serious title challenge?
Right.
I mean, their attack's been awesome though. 10 goals in their last 5 matches.
Mm-hmm.
But at home,
But their home form's been kind of weird.
yeah, it doesn't really add up.
Yeah, they've only gotten like 8 points out of 29 possible at home at the Stade Velodrome.
Yeah, what do you think is going on there? Like, is it tactical? Are they feeling the pressure at home? What's the deal?
I think it's interesting. It could be that teams approach them differently at home.
Right.
Knowing that they have this like strong attack and, maybe they're more defensive
Mm-hmm.
or maybe they focus more on counterattacks when they're playing at Marseille.
Yeah.
Or it could even be a psychological thing for Marseille themselves.
Yeah,
Maybe they do feel a bit more pressure playing in front of their own fans.
it's possible.
I don't know, but they've only had 1 clean sheet at home all season.
And only 5 teams have conceded more goals at home than them.
So, that kind of makes things interesting for Lille
Right?
because maybe they can capitalize on that defensive weakness.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Lille hasn't really had a ton of luck at the Stade Velodrome.
Nope.
They've only won one of their last, 14 visits there.
Right.
But there's this little twist. They're on a 7-match unbeaten streak away from home.
Uh-huh.
And that's across all competitions.
Yeah, they've really turned things around on the road.
They really have.
Yeah, and a win here would be huge for them.
Yeah.
They would jump over Marseille in the table
Right.
and maybe even get into the top 3.
Yeah, but there's one more thing to think about.
Yeah, what's that?
Lille just played a Champions League match midweek.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Against Sturm Graz.
Right. So you got to think,
Mm-hmm.
could fatigue be a factor here?
Yeah, that's a tough turnaround,
Right.
you would think.
Yeah.
But here's the crazy thing.
What's that?
Lille is actually unbeaten in games after their Champions League appearances. Yeah, so instead of being tired,
Wow.
it looks like Europe might actually give them a boost.
Yeah. What do you think is going on there?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, maybe that higher level of competition in the Champions League sharpens their focus.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, maybe their intensity carries over into League One, or maybe
Yeah.
they're rotating their squad really well, keeping players fresh
Yeah.
and motivated. Whatever it is, it's working for them.
It is working.
Hmm.
So we've got these two teams with these crazy narratives,
Mm.
and we've got some tactical things to think about.
Right,
But what about the players?
right.
Who are the key guys in this game? Who should we be watching?
Well, for Marseille, you got to keep an eye on Neil Maupay.
Oh, yeah, he's been
He's been great.
unbelievable.
4 assists in his last 3 games.
Wow.
And get this, 3 of those assists came in the first 15 minutes after halftime.
So if you're a Marseille fan,
Yeah.
you're praying for a tie at halftime.
Yeah, because
Maupay is going to come out guns blazing in the second half.
man. Exactly. And on Lille's side, you got to watch Jonathan David.
Oh, yeah.
He's been a real force away from home.
He has.
7 of his 11 goals have been on the road this season.
And his last
Yeah.
3 away goals have been penalties.
All penalties.
Do you think that says something about how they play on the road?
Yeah, maybe.
Do they draw more fouls when they're away?
It could be. It could be that they're getting into dangerous spots in the box, even when they're away.
Yeah.
And David's clearly their guy when they get those chances.
He is. All right, last thing before we wrap up.
Mhm.
This one stat really jumped out at me.
What is it?
13 of Marseille's 14 Ligue 1 games this season have had over 1.5 total goals.
Wow.
And that includes all 6 of their home matches.
Okay.
So are we looking at a goal fest here?
I mean, it wouldn't be a surprise. Both teams are so strong offensively.
Yeah.
But I guess the big question is,
Yep.
will it be another high-scoring game, or will it be like a really tactical defensive battle?
Oh, that's a good question. So much to think about. Okay, let's recap. We got two teams in great form.
Yeah.
They both have these compelling stories.
Right.
Marseille wants to solidify their title challenge.
Yep.
Lille's trying to crack that top 3 and show that they're a real threat on the road.
And tactically.
Yeah.
It's going to be fascinating to see how they approach this game.
I agree.
Will Marseille's attack be too much for Lille?
Right.
Or will Lille's resilience and that away form be the deciding factor?
And then, of course, we have the star players, Wilmot and David, keep up their hot streaks.
Exactly. I mean, there's just so much to think about going into this match. What are you expecting to see?
Honestly, you've given me a lot to think about. I'm leaning towards a high-scoring game.
Okay.
But I just have this feeling that Lille might pull off some crazy tactical masterclass and, shut down Marseille's attack.
Yeah, that's possible.
I don't know. Either way,
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a really exciting game.
Definitely me too.
This one's a must-watch.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
It'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
All right, we'll see you next time for another deep dive.
Sounds good.